Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 67 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm your host, Risky the Kid, and joining me this week are my co-hosts, Chocolate Bear.
How you doing?
Moose.
What's up, guys?
And in our rotating fourth chair, community member and co-host of Achievement Hunting 101, the podcast, Rawker Dude.
Hey, that's me. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, Rawker? How you doing?
Pretty good, thanks.
Good.
Finally,
good,
some
man.
fresh meat around here.
I know.
Are you supposed to call him that?
Not to his face? I don't know. Did we have that talk with HR? Shoot.
God damn it.
Always
Toby.
refer to them as fresh meat. Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Can confirm. All right, before we get going, it's a new month, which means another month has passed, which means a few of our contests have ended. So this past month, our active Discord user was Ledonian.
Yes.
Good work, Ledonian. And then, and so that means, depending on what we're doing with our community plays, because I don't think we've really figured that out just yet, but if that comes around again, you'll be able to pick a game. So, good work. Thanks for staying active, as always. And then our other ongoing contest, which at this point it doesn't really even feel like a contest. It's kind of just Scottman and Chocolate just seeing who can walk more. But the winner of our step challenge for August was Scottman.
I have to give him a clap. He took the crown. Well done.
Was it because your Fitbit was dead or something? Any excuses, or you just taking it on the chin?
I'll take it on the chin. I do have excuses, but I will not use them.
Dude, I figured you'd have a chance. He got a new motorbike. I figured he'd be riding that thing on the sidewalks and everywhere.
He was
everywhere he goes.
Well, he
Yeah.
was also redecorating, wasn't he? So
Across the house, you know. I'll just take the bike.
Go into the backyard quick.
Yeah.
Hop on the motorcycle. Perfect.
That's what I would do.
Absolutely, 100%. If you, CAG listener, would like to get in on either of these contests, hop on over into Discord. We have links for all that stuff over there. I can throw the step challenge link in the description of the show as well. So somebody that's not Scottman or Chocolate, try to knock these guys out. Make sure your Fitbits are charged, people.
Just know it's going to take you about 500,000 steps.
Woof.
So I think I do that in about a year. Good job, guys.
Yeah, great. Yeah, all right. Well, another week in gaming. What have we all been playing? Let's start with Moose and World of Warcraft Classic, because I know there's been a few people getting into this. What's the deal here? I never got into World of Warcraft when it was originally out.
Either.
No? Okay.
No, so I'm just curious, and I am not sure if it's for me. I gave them my $15 for the month of September, and they've got 30 days basically to prove
Sell
me
you?
wrong. Yeah, because I chose to be an undead warlock, so that's fun, I guess.
I don't know what that
And
means, but sounds cool.
I just figured, if you're gonna go nerd, you got to go full nerd and spell cast and
Yeah, the only thing I've heard about this
necromance
game is that the queues to do things seem like they're absurdly long, and there's like people forming in-game lines and stuff.
I haven't experienced that. I waited a few days to jump in. I didn't jump in on launch because I heard actually, there was a line of people to kill a wolf, or everybody's just actually. Ledonian and I did have to stand in a line, but there's one person. Basically, you have to kill this leader of a group or something, and he respawns every like 45 seconds or something. And there was a lady standing in front of him, waiting for him to respond. So we just stood behind her and
Just kind of waited.
helped her kill him, and then she said thanks and went on her way, and then we killed him, and But I heard it's been, 10, 15 people long just to wait to kill one of 12 wolves that you need. And sometimes it doesn't drop the RNG that you need of the paw or whatever part you're looking for.
So go back to the back of the line and start over.
It could get pretty frustrating.
Good
I can see
God.
that pretty quick.
Goodness.
But Ledonian and Mir Designation from the community, they found a horde server called Rattlegore that we're on, and I've had no issues getting in, or like I said, that was the only instance that I had of a queue of any sort. So I'm giving it my best shot. It's really time consuming, and so far it's just nothing but fetch quests.
Well, and I think the only thing I know about that game is that people like put their whole lives into it.
Right.
So it sounds like it should be the most grindy game that's ever existed, since people solely just play this game. So
yeah, and I don't think I'll get to that point. And my wife wasn't thrilled about the monthly charge, so I have a reminder set in my phone to cancel it on September 30th.
yeah, I feel like it really has to give you a lot to
Right. To yeah, I guess if you
be
pay
worth the
for
money.
it 6 months at a time, then you can get it for like $12 a month. But it's not really that much of a savings for committing yourself to. I don't know, but like you said, there's tons of people that are just straight WoW, and that's all they do, and that's
So
been their life. So they're just
Wowzers.
ready to redo it again.
Wowzers, I like it. So how much of this do you think is like nostalgia driven?
It's got to be like 100%.
like a lot
at
of
this
it, right?
Yeah, I don't get it at this point. I'm sorry, all you WoW people out there.
Because it must be a bigger, like they've had so many expansions, and it's been this game's been out over
since
a decade.
2004, I want to say.
Oh, yeah, a decade and a half.
Is what they just reset everything to.
So
yeah, classic. Basically, they just reset everything in World of Warcraft back to day one.
okay, and now
As
you
far
can
as I understand
literally
it.
just continue to progress all the way up until
Level 60.
current. Oh, okay.
I don't know as far as what the expansions and stuff. I don't know if they're just seeing this as a way to print money again, because that's kind of what it looks like and feels like and is happening.
Well, so people that have like a normal World of Warcraft subscription, does this
works.
cover this? Okay.
Yes.
So it's
you
not
only
like
have to have one sub, but you
Right.
can play
That's
for
good.
free in the current version, not the classic version. So you could play up to level 20 with your character for free on the old version, which is the new. It's so confusing.
the old version, which is the new version. It's kind of like
Right.
the Xbox One.
So WoW Classic you cannot play for free, but the other version of WoW is like something for Azeroth or something like that. That you can still play for free up to level 20.
All right, Rawker, did you play? Well, you're mostly Xbox, right? You don't really dabble in PC stuff.
I am. I can't say that was the same 15 years ago.
Let's hear it.
I have a very specific memory about WoW, and it involved borrowing the disc and gearing up for that 14-day free trial, and I played all of 14 minutes of that game.
And you're just like, this is it? Because that's kind of how I feel right now.
I remember killing sheep.
Yeah,
And,
basically.
killing more sheep. and
This
yeah,
is my
it
life now.
That was not fun.
You get to kill spiders, sheep,
Ooh.
bats,
What
wolves.
is happening?
Yeah, basically
I
you're
am
just
not
a hunter, and you go gather things for the village. So,
Well, have you played more than 14 minutes at least, Moose?
Yeah, I've played a few hours of it. Like probably like a total of like about 5 or 6 hours. And usually it's with Ladonian and Mir and Julia Gulia, also in the community. She plays with us a little bit too. She bought in on the hype just like I did, and we'll see if we're both still there at the end of the month.
Can I put my vote in for whether or not you're going to be there?
There's going to be lots of games coming out, right?
It's a resounding no.
Yeah.
Half of your subscription cost could have almost bought you Man of Medan, which just came out.
But
It's a
that's
nice spooky game.
We don't do
Oh
those.
yeah, just
Until I get a stream camera set up, and then that's the only time I will play spooky games.
sit down and play it with Mrs. Moose. It'll be a great time. They have movie.
She'll
theater-
hold your hand.
Movie
She
theater
watched
mode now.
all of Stranger Things without me because I was like, nope. I watched all
You
of
can't even
season
watch
1.
Stranger
Dude,
Things.
season 2 looks spooky as hell. I watched like that first episode. I was like, I don't think so.
Such a
Not
baby.
doing it.
I love
I got plenty of bad things going on in the world. I want
Don't-
movies
don't
and
need
games to
more.
make me feel better.
Nothing like a good, sweet hit of adrenaline from a jump scare.
That's right. Mm-hmm. No, thank you.
you just don't see where I'm coming
My
from.
kids give me plenty of jump scares just trying to die every day.
Just just in everyday life.
Yeah,
All right.
Parenting 101.
exactly.
Fair enough. There you go. Start a new podcast. Perfect.
Oh wow, I'm off the show already. Nice knowing you guys.
Adios. It was fun. All right. Next up, let's go. Well, are you done with World of Warcraft, Moose? We good?
Not till September 30th.
Well, okay. Thank you. Funny guy. All right. Let's go over to Rawker, who's playing some The Mummy Demastered. What is this? Because was there an original Mummy game? This is a remaster for the
I'm intrigued as well.
punny name.
Actually, no. And this is actually a licensed game based off the Mummy movies, but I don't think it has any connection other than name alone. And actually, Risky, you would love this game.
Let's hear it. Pitch me.
Metroidvania.
All right, done.
Done, right?
Easy
I'm
enough.
sold too. Yep, we're good.
16-bit graphics, so you're coming off that Time Spinner high.
Absolutely.
And you jump in here. I think it looks better than Time Spinner. I've only got around to the first boss so far, but it's classic Metroidvania mapping system and upgrades so far with your different weapons and your shields and your life, and it's an all-around really good Metroidvania game.
Is this a newer game?
No. This came out probably 2 years ago at least.
Oh, okay.
Actually, October 2017. So, yeah, 2 years.
So did this come about because of achievement hunting or something
Yes.
you're interested in?
So, yeah, if we dive into that, everything that I play for is it is predetermined, usually by a contest or
Okay.
something. And so we have a really popular contest right now that it's the last month of it. We call it Random To-Do List. And basically, you have to use true achievements. If you don't know what that is, that's a whole nother topic. But you can manage your game collection in this site, and you can say what games you're playing right now, what games you're not playing. And this calculation takes 25 random achievements in your list. You have to have at least 1,000. That's not hard to do. 1,000 unlocked locked achievements. And it gives you 25 achievements ranging in various difficulties, and we've tied them to a point system, and we recently made it into a team competition, and this would be the last month of the first team-based version of it, and it's really fun to do. And but I'm going to be taking a break after this month because, man, it will wear on you.
Especially if you end up playing something that you just really aren't interested in or just not gelling with you.
Definitely, and we can curate our list to keep it more in our taste, but if you're only going to pick hard stuff that's going to take you a long time, you might not finish your list, but maybe you get more points. It's a delicate balance system, but right now that and some other contests always take charge in what I play for the most part.
Cool.
And
So the Mummy,
the Mummy Demastered came up 3 times in this list of 25, which is pretty. It's good. And it's going to have me actually complete the game. So that's another bonus of doing this random to-do list thing. It encourages you to complete this game. And in a backstory to the Mummy Demastered and why it's on my list, all of 2019, me and a few others have been playing Metroidvania games throughout the whole year. So I'm glad this one came up. I had some really good reviews on it, and so far it's been really good.
I'll have to look into this because, I'd never even heard of it. And when I saw it here, I was thinking, like, Brendan Fraser, like that Mummy? Is that what we're talking about? But so there's no Brendan Fraser in this game? That's
no Brendan Fraser that
just
I
the
can
name.
tell. Yeah.
Wouldn't the current reference be Tom Cruise? Didn't he make the most current Mummy movie?
He did. I didn't see that, though.
Nobody did.
I did. It wasn't that good.
All right, fair
Like
enough.
I said, nobody did.
Oh, cheers, miss.
Cool. I'll look into that. I don't turn down Metroidvanias, not usually. So sounds like fun. All right. What next? Chocolate playing some Halo 5. Why are you playing Halo 5?
I don't know.
All right, fair enough.
I don't know.
It's like he spins a random wheel of games every week, and that's what it landed on.
Just closes his eyes and just scrolls through his list of games, and then just hit A.
Yeah, I'm just like, today it's this one. So I was watching a stream. It was X1's stream. He was playing Halo 5, so I decided I'd jump in with him. Oh my god, how bad I am at multiplayer Halo 5.
You tweeted a clip we saw.
Oh, and which one of you two put the comment of that poor wall? What did he do?
Yeah, what
to
did
you?
that wall do to you? I did. I meant to do it under my account, and somehow the CAG account got on, and I'm not Instagram as much as I'm not computer. So,
I really found it difficult. I was the king of spray and pray. That the game is great. It's good fun, but there are some modes in that you will grit your teeth, and you just want to politely smash your head against your TV. I think we played, one of the sniper rounds. It was like not a team deathmatch, but it was one kill, one hit, and you had to hit him in the head with your sniper rifle.
SWAT, I believe.
SWAT, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, never playing that mode again. All my kills I got were, funny enough, they were only eliminations, so I'd managed to get behind someone and murder them silently without getting any kills with my sniper rifle.
Couldn't win a single gunfight face to face.
No,
so he's
not
basically
even
saying the cool way is the only people he killed are the ones that didn't see him.
Basically,
what I'm hearing, yeah.
I was a ninja.
He was a stealth assassin. That's right.
Exactly. I was a ninja and I assassinated. Potentially, it was the same person.
Yeah, we'll go with
the
that.
the person that was worse than you in the server.
Just in that, part of the combat. But I think I came bottom. Halo 5 and me, I'm trash. Absolute trash.
Put it on the pile, Bear.
Yeah, but never playing SWAT again. If I ever see anything come up in a community play or any type of play with SWAT, I'm out. Done.
Community play? You won't be there anyways.
Listen, Grandad goes in 4 days' time.
Just don't say it too loud. He's going to hear you.
Red X is on the calendar. Am I right, my friend?
I've got a countdown timer.
You're
wait.
awful.
I know. I love him, but 6 weeks is too much.
It's fair. I believe you. Cool. Halo 5. Good game, I guess. I can't get into it, but good for you.
They've
Sounds
got
like you had a great time.
A huge game creator type, level creator type thing in it, right? The Forge. And it's
Forge.
Endless possibilities as far as game styles, game modes, levels, all that
so
stuff.
I've never dabbled in it, but for all those kind of game creations, I always, for some reason in my head, I think you need to be sitting at a PC, your mouse, your keyboard, and that's how you can do perfect,
when you're
brilliant
actually
level designs.
creating. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but on a console with a controller, no chance. Even with a Switch, I wouldn't be able to create.
Well, I'm just saying there's endless possibilities as far as games that you could play, levels that you could play on, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to create anything yourself, because that's definitely not for me.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, moving on then. So I was on vacation this past week, and that's why I wasn't here. But that did mean that I had my Switch with me, and Rad came out. So I played a whole bunch of Rad. I think Moose picked it up too. Well,
I did because you did.
Yeah, that just kind of worked that way. Rad's pretty awesome. It's
pretty rad.
It is pretty rad. Damn, how did I miss that?
I don't know, because you're not a dad yet.
Not a
But
rad
I got to
dad
stop down real quick and give you congratulations on your vacation. You did something. Kind of steps toward becoming a man.
Yeah, I got engaged this weekend.
Ooh.
To the Meg.
Smartest decision you'll ever make.
We shall see, my friend.
So, congrats.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, so while I was not getting engaged, I got to play some Rad, like I was saying. If you're not aware of what Rad is, it's a top-down roguelite, I want to say. Roguelite because you can save some currency, and as you unlock new things, it kind of gives you the ability to pick them up in different runs.
But you only save the currency that you finish the level with, right?
So yeah, after you finish,
bank it.
Yeah, exactly. So after you finish a level, all the cassette tapes, which is a type of currency there,
Right. Everything's 80s themed and super.
It's so awesome. Yeah, floppy disks,
neon
cassette
colors,
tapes.
and think Hotline Miami, Katana Zero, that kind of artwork.
For sure. So yeah, when you finish a level, you have the option to either bank your cassettes for a separate run, because you can go to that bank and withdraw them in any future run you take. Or you can spend them on things like health, actual floppy disks, which unlock chests, which will have different power-ups and stuff like that. So each run you're going in, and the catch here, the thing here is that you're in this, it's the post-apocalypse. So there's radiation everywhere, and after you kill enough enemies, you have this bar at the top. It's like a radiation meter, and once you fill that up, you get a random mutation. These mutations can...
There's tons of them.
Yeah, there's a ton of them. They can range from things like throwing your head at people, summoning...
That's on fire and explodes.
Yeah, you have spikes that come out of your body. You can leave like trails of weird radiating mushy stuff behind you so that your enemies, if they walk into it, they take damage. You can spawn little creatures. I think I've probably found, I might be around like 10 that I've seen at this point, and they're all super random and weird. And
Yeah, one of them you're like a giant cobra head.
I have not gotten that one yet.
Oh, cool. Well, there's more than 10 then.
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, what you're doing is you're going from point to point on these randomly generated maps, hitting these little towers, I want to say. And once you hit the however
activate
many
the skulls, right?
Yeah, you have to like activate these skull tower things, and then once you do that, it opens up a main boss room, and then you're going to take on whatever boss pops up that run. Like I said, the whole game is like everything's super random in it. So sometimes you'll get a certain boss for the first one, might get an easy one, might get a bad one. Your mutations might be good, they might be bad. So that all feels random, not in a bad way, but you can definitely do runs where you end up with mutations that are going to work much better for your final bosses than other mutations. Or sometimes you just get like crappier ones, and that's just how it works. Did you get flying at all, Moose?
No, I haven't gotten that one yet.
Okay, so like that one makes
it's like a game breaker, huh?
Well, for like traversal around the world, yeah, it's
Right.
super
Can't fall
useful.
off the sides.
Right, and then just being able to fly above things. And then another one that felt broken was the summoning of like little mutant monster things, because you could just keep like spamming it, and
they would take all the DPS too from whatever was trying to kill you.
Yeah,
You could stand off to the side and just shoot them.
Right, the cooldown is like pretty low on it too. So if they like, because I think you could do 3 of them, and then if one of them died, I could just pop another one up quick, and they
They're
were
like
just
minions or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean I think I may have died on the second boss on that run, and that's as far as I've gotten. I've yet to get to the third boss.
So
but
do you know why at the end of the levels there's a pink tunnel and a blue tunnel? They both take you back to the world, but I don't, I'm not a reader, so when all that text comes up on the screen, I just tap whatever button it says to get it off there.
Yeah, I don't know if I missed that or what, but whenever I pick a tunnel after the main bosses,
It's the same place, right?
I just end up back in the homeworld, or we've both gotten really unlucky, and there's some like secondary secret world that we just haven't seen yet because we keep choosing the wrong one somehow.
I definitely need to give it some more time.
I hope that's the case.
Can you imagine?
That's the case.
Yeah, if anyone's playing
Chocolate
Rad,
will pick it up and stumble upon it like he falls down the well in what's it called? Like Cave Blazers last week. Oh, look, here's the door to level 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, here's three free mutations for walking through the right door.
Here's the Mario Star version of this game.
Good work. Yeah, but the whole 80s style of this, plus the roguelike, and like it controls pretty well. I think the one thing I found kind of weird was like the random sprint, like how your guy would like, I don't know if it's a stamina thing or what, but he'd be going like really, really fast, and then he'd slow down. And at first I was like, is my Joy-Con broken? Like, am I not pushing this down all the way?
Yeah,
What's
I think
going
he
on?
Sprint for so long.
So yeah, it seems like he goes
But there's no stamina bar
super
or
fast.
anything.
But that's it.
But you said that's the only thing that's weird? Because I think this is just one weird-ass
Well, no,
game.
the whole
Like,
game's definitely weird.
It's
far
cool, but it's weird for sure.
As far as a gameplay mechanic, I thought it was kind of weird because I'm not hitting a button to sprint, but then he's kind of just like slows down periodically. So I was like, what are we doing here?
There's probably something to it.
As far as roguelites go, does it feel frustrating? Because I don't play roguelites that much because I get so mad at them.
I don't get very far. Over.
Yeah, I get, I didn't even get to the second boss. I didn't get that third skull key turned. So, as long as you don't mind dying a lot, because that's basically the idea of a roguelite, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think if you don't like roguelites, you're not going to like this.
Exactly.
It looks pretty. I'll give it that.
It's cool.
It looks awesome. The aesthetics are great, but you can definitely get yourself pretty powerful. You can end up with like extra health, like adding chambers to your hearts, so you can live a little longer. Obviously, I think you can get up to 3 main mutations that are actually on buttons, but then you also have like sub mutations that might make you a little faster, might make you a little stronger, stuff like
They're
that.
Passive type deals.
Yeah, exactly. And so you can definitely load up on those, and you feel pretty damn strong. But like I said, I've still yet to get to that third boss,
Right.
After a good chunk of time put into this game. But
Combat-wise, is it close to Dead Cells or off?
No, that's impossible in my
it's
in
2D
my
to
opinion.
3D.
And,
Also,
and yeah, it's not set on a 2D plane. It's isometric.
but you got Chocolate. You got a dodge roll. You've got that moment of invincibility, just like most roguelike games. And then the other buttons are your attacks and your whatever they are, your mutations and all that stuff.
Like the passive sub ones
Right.
or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean the combat feels fine. I didn't have any complaints about it. So
Yeah, it's not terrible, because if the combat's terrible, I just won't play a game.
right, like
Like, what was that game? Jeez, that one I bought that looked
Wonder
so good.
Wonder Boy,
Wonder Boy.
Dragon,
Yes.
something.
And it's like, was this developed by a first-year game creator or what? Because the controls are terrible in this game.
That was rough. That was rough. Glad I wasn't the one that bought that one.
Did you ever get that one on your achievement list, Rawker?
Funny enough, you mention it. There's another contest going on right now, and I have that one slotted in.
Yes.
for
Good
one of
luck
the,
to
one of
you,
the
sir. I got through
It's supposed
about
to be quick.
I got through about 5 minutes of it, and I was hammered, and I did not have a good time.
Try it sober. See, maybe you'll like it more.
I don't think it's gonna change anything.
No, it doesn't.
I could see through my haze that was not a good game.
It looks nice though.
Yeah, it's definitely a good, cool artistry.
That might be all it's got going for it.
Yeah, watch somebody else play that game.
For sure. Yeah, that's rad though. If you're into roguelites, it's fun. And I think it was $20 new as well.
Oh, nice.
And I think
I was wondering what it cost.
I played it on Switch, but it's on Xbox, PlayStation, maybe PC. I have no idea.
And usually Switch is the most expensive place, so it's $20 or less, I'm sure.
Yep. All right. Moose, we're gonna go back to you.
Okay.
What's bringing you back to Steep? Nothing wrong with Steep. I love me some Steep, but
I suppose
what are you
being
doing?
the end of August and no games to play.
That could be a problem. Yeah.
And I don't know, I just tend to go back to that game. It's kind of like my chill game for some reason, even though it frustrates me beyond end at some points. So, like last night, well, I guess you should be referring to me as 3-time Olympic gold medal winner, Moose, at this point.
Oh, my bad.
But
I'll make sure to do that from now
Well,
on.
you didn't know, so, I don't blame you for that.
Appreciate
But,
it.
in the future, I expect the proper titles to be in order.
Yep.
But, yeah, so I won half-pipe gold medal, slopestyle gold medal, big air gold medal, and called it a day. Got a whole bunch of diamond achievements if you're looking for some, Rocker. So
Looking for some
nobody's
easy
playing
ones.
that DLC.
Yeah, the only thing I did in that game when I got it was went straight to like the X Games courses and just did
Yeah.
the same run over and over, just hitting rails and jumps and stuff.
The Olympic is way better than the X Games courses.
Is there
And there's
still
multiple ones.
is it still like freestyle stuff like
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
rails
that's
and all
all.
that?
Yep. And then I also I got gold medals in giant slalom, downhill, and slalom.
So
Or no, Super G. So they have actually,
five-time
yeah, 5-time
Olympic gold medalist
winner.
Moose.
Yep. I heard them, Stars and Bars play for me 5 times last night. Felt good about myself going to bed and sleeping for 5
Champion.
hours.
Went to bed a winner.
Yeah, I got up
dead.
at 5 a.m. to go see the balloons.
Oh, you said balloons, and I
Dude, there was like 50.
yeah, we have like a hot air balloon fest thing in Syracuse here, and the last like 5 years, I don't think any balloons have actually gone off because the weather it's been too windy
that's
or
too bad.
raining, and I've gone like maybe every other year, and they never take off. So
What
that
do they
sucks.
do? Do they at least do a glow at night?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, you could be like the president of their chamber if you bring up this idea. So they inflate all the balloons right at like dusk, and then as soon as it gets like to where it's dark where you can't see anything, everybody lights up their balloons at once, and it makes a great picture basically of all
okay.
glowing balloons at night.
Yeah, I saw the
So-
pictures you took. They looked like there's a bunch of balloons up. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
cool.
there were at least 50 of them. It's been a tradition here in Colorado Springs for going on. I don't know. They've been doing it ever since I was a little kid. So I took my girls for the first time this year, just because there's thousands of people down at that park. So,
Right.
But they enjoyed it and I enjoyed it, so it might be a tradition that we might start here.
And that's been your Hot Air Balloon Minute, brought to you by Moose.
For all you balloon fanatics out there, there's some weirdos.
There are a lot of balloon fanatic. I mean, yeah, there probably are.
The worst ones are the people in the chase vehicles that don't have a balloon. They just chase them.
Just for fun?
Yeah, just to see who's in it.
Those are the real weirdos.
Nope, there's even a more weird guy.
He
listening. Goes up, he just has a chair and a propane tank.
What?
Yep. There's no basket. He just sits on a seat with a propane tank strapped to his back.
Hell no.
Yep, they call them cloud jumpers. I learned a lot.
That's crazy people.
Suicidal. Yeah. I don't know. All right, great. All right, moving on. Let's go back to what? What do you want to do?
I want to hear about your Oculus stuff because I'm jealous and I want to play Beat Saber, but you're too far away for me to come over.
All right, yeah. So because I don't have enough different platforms to game on,
and your work gave you free money.
And yeah, I came into a sum of gift cards from my work. Apparently, we've been accruing these reward points for years and years and years that they just told us about. And I was like, so I've got all these gift cards. Might as well buy an Oculus Rift S, because what else do you do with your money when you're a responsible adult?
Yeah, that's going to stop here soon. As soon as she figures out what you spend all your money on.
I don't think she's seen this yet. So
I know. That's what I'm saying. Buy everything you can until she finds out.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, I went out and bought a Rift S, got it all hooked up, and then, so when you first hook it up, they have some initial, preloaded software that you can go through to kind of get used to it, I guess. The one thing they make you do as soon as you get the thing booted up is they have this, guardian wall, so there's cameras on the actual Rift S so you can see your surroundings if need be. And you have to draw what's called a guardian line, like a border. So if you're in any game and your hand or any part of your body starts to hit it, it puts up this wall in front of you, like the box that you've made, so you know where you are. And it's, I don't know, it's tough to explain. I mean, VR
it's
itself is tough to explain.
AR inside VR, right?
Yeah, exactly. And until you're actually in VR, it's tough to explain how awesome
Did you fall
half
down
this
at all?
stuff is. No, I didn't have any issues with that. The worst thing I did was punched my shelf that has all my board games and Legos and stuff over on it. So that was fun. And my dog really doesn't like the VR thing. I'm just in the middle of my room playing Beat Saber, and he's just barking nonstop, sitting in the corner. What? Are you a crazy person now? What? We're just swinging our arms around. But if you're not familiar with Beat Saber, that was one of the first games I launched. It's a rhythm music game with lightsabers. So there's all these blocks coming at you, and you have to cut them different ways. You have a red and a blue lightsaber, and there's corresponding blocks coming at you in different directions. So you just end up feeling like a awesome Jedi swinging at blocks.
It's got a virtually endless catalog of songs you can buy for it, right?
Unless I'm missing something, the catalog actually isn't that big. And
it's not?
No, and I don't know if the first contract they had was with Imagine Dragons or what, but there's a bunch of Imagine Dragons songs that you can buy.
I think it just happened to be the time that they were pushing it with the HTC Vive and the VR stuff.
That 100% could be the case. I bought, because the songs are also $1.99 a piece. Which,
oh boy!
Yeah. Yikes!
Wasn't the Rock Band it was $2 or $3 for a pack of songs, wasn't it?
$1, maybe $2 per song, but yeah, they had discounted packs.
Yeah, I'm sure those packs were 3 songs, or some, if you were lucky, had 5.
Right.
And I think there was an option to buy the Imagine Dragons pack, but I don't know.
That's just what it came loaded with.
I haven't done it yet.
Hopefully, it's not like Drop Mix, and it's a good game that people actually will play and buy, and they'll support it and come up with more licenses and content for it. It looks awesome.
Right, and because it's just another way for me to spend money. So obviously, when I was looking at paid games for this thing, Beat Saber was just at the top of the list for everybody, or at least in everybody's top 3 or top 5. So I bought it, and it sounds kind of dumb, but once you're in there and you're immersed, it's ridiculous. And if you've done VR with your phone or that kind of thing where you like put it into a Google Cardboard, like
The
this is
Nintendo VR.
or you stuck it in a Labo kit. Just that stuff doesn't even compare. When I went in this thing, I was blown away. I did play a game called Contractors. It's a first-person shooter where you have, like, if you look down at your vest, you have, like, your grenades and your handgun, and you have to, like, reload your clips by grabbing them off your side and actually putting them into your gun. I'm really, really bad at it, but it was pretty sweet playing. It feels paced like Call of Duty, kind of. Like, it's actually pretty quick. But being so new at it, I just got destroyed.
And can you, like, ADS, or is everything kind of hip shooting?
Well, so yeah, if you want to ADS, you have to raise your
Kind of
two
up to your
controllers
cheek or
up to
whatever?
your cheek, pretty much, yeah, and then your sight is going to be on top of your gun, and you can just aim down that way. I think the people who are good at it just hip fire and have it
no
down.
scope, bro. It's all
Right.
about the no scope.
But I just know, like, at certain points playing this game, I was definitely, like, on my hands and knees, like, crawling around my game room. And,
That's hilarious.
like, I just want a camera to, like, just record myself doing this so I can
Right.
see how stupid it looks. But
So-
yeah.
So, like, when you play, is there an interface that shows you on the screen? Because, you know, I got stuck in a Beat Saber hole after you told me you bought that for probably one evening. And, you know, it always shows them dancing on, like, a starry screen and chopping up all the blocks. Is that some sort of program they have to run afterwards? Or
To get, like, the view of yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I have no idea how to do that. Everything I've played, you just pretty much see your hands.
So I assume it's probably, like, green screened on, too, just like you would stream.
So yeah,
You
people
know
that
what
are
I mean.
making, like, final production value things
Right.
with Beat Saber, that, yeah, there's definitely more editing, because otherwise it wouldn't look that interesting, just seeing the hands, like, slashing.
Right,
around.
yeah, because they show the whole body, and then they show the basically the sabers coming out of their hands.
People, like, spinning around and doing stuff
yeah,
like that.
exactly, doing dance moves, and
That's the one thing that kind of sucks, is that you do have, I mean, from what I heard, this is one cable less than the old Oculus had, or the old Oculus actually had, like, sensor towers. This doesn't have it. All the sensors are built into the headset, so you do just have one DisplayPort cable that comes out of the headset and goes into the computer. So it's one cable. It's 5 meters long. And it doesn't really get in the way, but I know the Oculus Quest is a thing that is completely wireless, but you don't have access to the same catalog of games. So
right, it's a lot more limited, right?
right, but like Beat Saber's there, so Beat Saber, I would definitely maybe give it a twirl here and there in game with that. But like, I'm not about to do a pirouette when I've got this cable dangling off my face that's gonna rip my tower off a shelf. Like,
Guess we're not doing that anymore.
yeah, and then the last thing I checked out that I think is worth mentioning was there's a Batman experience. It was half off, so I was like, all right, cool. And it just like took you down into the Batcave, and it had you doing the more investigative stuff of Batman. Like, you'd go to crime scenes and you'd like pull your little analyzer gun off your side to analyze things. If there was any combat, you were throwing like the batarangs. You just like pull off your hip and throw them, and then you had the traversal is actually super smart there, because I think the main way that people try to avoid motion sickness in VR is with teleporting for movement. Mm-hmm. So with the grappling hook, you just kind of would grapple to different points instead of actually being able to run around.
Oh, I see.
So those are the two ways I've seen. Like the first-person shooter game, Contractors, that's all you use the two controllers in your hand to strafe and whatnot, but then any movement that would be on your right stick normally, that's what you're doing with your head and your hands.
Right.
But as far as strafing and moving forward, that's all on a left analog stick. But then there's also the teleportation method that a bunch of different games use. Either way, I can't say enough good stuff about this. It's not the cheapest thing to get into, and you definitely need a PC that can run it, because I had a few games where I had the settings up too high, and I would get frame drops, and nothing will make you feel more sick than getting just frame drops in the middle of something. Like 7 frames per second. It just makes you want to throw up everywhere,
like a
dude.
strobe light.
Oh, it's awful. Because you're just like your vision's just bouncing
Oh,
around.
yeah, because
like,
it cuts to whatever you're looking at that
it is
time.
rough.
Right?
So That's my number one hint there is make sure your settings are dialed in correctly, because high settings, at least with my PC, which is newer, it can't do it. So
do you think at some point with what you've played on this Oculus rig, we'll have where we'll run on some sort of disc with, slippy shoes on, and because that's what I've seen as far as the full VR experience is trying to get the
treadmills
motion.
where people can run in place and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the dream, right? But is that...
But nobody that plays video games actually wants to run as much as you do in a game.
But can you imagine
Trust me.
how good a shape you'd be in if you played Call of Duty but actually had to run everywhere in Call of Duty?
But everything would be so sweaty and it would malfunction because of all your
and
grossness.
Those biggest, fattest, most unathletic kids are going to be so bad at virtual reality Call of Duty because they're just not going to be able to move. They're just,
right. They're just going to camp.
I guess they'll be campers and they'll still have the best KDs, so this is not going to be a solution.
Nope. They'll just get good at their prone.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's me ranting about the Oculus Rift S. Definitely, if you can afford it, I think there's a decent enough catalog of games, but there's still there's not a lot of big AAA stuff that's getting worked on that I know of. I'm super new to the space, so I guess I need to actually search out what's in development, that kind of stuff. But
I also hear one of the best VR games is exclusive to PlayStation right now, too.
Yeah, that
Astrobot,
and then they have another one that's like London crime thriller game. I can't think of the name of it. You can play that not in VR as well.
I gotcha.
Can't think of it. But yeah, so that kind of sucks. It's still dealing with exclusivity baloney.
Hopefully one day, in the Great Valley, everybody will play together nicely and we can play wherever we want.
London Heist?
The London Heist, yep. There you go. Or maybe? Or I think that might have been when it was titled originally, and then I feel like it got a name change. Maybe it didn't, though. It might be called the London Heist. If you Google London Heist, that is the game I'm talking about, though. Exclusive to PS4. Or PSVR.
Rawker, you ever do any VR?
I wish,
Me too, man.
But there's not many achievements related to VR, and two, I have nothing that can run VR unless you want to count the Switch. And if Beat Saber came to the Switch, I
would
likely buy it.
I think I would too. Even just to dock it and play it on your TV, I think that's ideal.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad trade-off.
Yeah, just use the
Joy-Cons.
Use the Joy-Cons, right?
Yeah, because it works for Mario Tennis just fine.
Yeah, what? Why not? That is such a smart move, and I would have never thought of that.
All right. Everybody put it out there. # bring Beat Saber to the Switch.
Yeah, but do you want to pay $70 for it when the Switch gets their hands on it?
Yes, I will.
Yep.
It's either that or pay $400 for an Oculus rig, Chocolate.
And then $1,000 for a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely not the most affordable thing in the world, but if you can do it, well worth the money in my eyes. All right, let's go back over to Rawker, who's playing some Crash Bandicoot, one of my favorite childhood games ever. Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. That was my jam.
Oh, me too. And it's just as hard as ever.
I believe it.
So this month I rolled. This is probably my hardest achievement of this month. And that is an achievement that is tied to getting all of the Crash 1 achievements. So luckily I have to stick to one game, but it's Crash 1, and Crash 1's probably the hardest of the three.
Oh, 100%. Oh,
so I've played most of Crash. I have 2 main bosses left. But the hardest part is I'm going to have to go through just about every level and get gold or better on the time trials. And there's a level in there, if you know any history about Crash, they excluded a level on the PlayStation version, the original PlayStation, but when they remade the trilogy, they added it back, and they only excluded it because of how hard it was.
Oh gosh!
So I'm gonna have to do that hard level really quickly. So that'll be a grind and a half, I'm sure.
Yeah. So not only did they reintroduce this level that was too hard for us in the States, they also make you do it in X amount of time for an achievement.
Yeah.
Didn't it seem like back in the day, PlayStation was just sitting over there looking at Nintendo like, cute game, kid, check this out. Because CTR is the same way. It's so much harder than Mario Kart. It just seems like, they step up difficulty so much on the PlayStation side.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that 3D world that you're in. I don't know, but whatever they have going on, it is some hard stuff. And I know that when I was going through Crash 1, there's a bridge level. I'm sure I spent 200 to 300 lives on that one level. So
right, you can't control the camera, right, in the first one.
No.
Nope,
So
it just kind of moves
you're at
with
the
you.
mercy, of what. And
Yeah.
sometimes you get that weird camera flip on yourself while you're trying to move, and it just walks you right off the edge of something. Or
That's the thing that I remember most was the platforming in a 3D platformer, which is tough in general. But sometimes you want
jump
crash.
at a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to land on this one box or whatever. It's just I'd miss it 50% of the time. That's just how that went.
Yep. Have you guys played the trilogy at all? The Crash trilogy?
I haven't. It's one of those I have to pick up still. It's on my list though, for sure.
If you see it on sale, I do recommend it. It's a very well done remaster, along with Spyro, and I'm sure Crash Team Racing. That one's the one that's on my list. But
I dabbled in Spyro a decent amount, and that ended up being more of a nostalgia-driven purchase. I
Yeah.
feel like because once I got into it, I
It's
couldn't.
not great, is
I
it?
couldn't get super into it, and I don't want to say it's not good, but
It's simple.
for whatever reason, yeah, I put a few hours in the first day I bought it, and then I
too.
didn't pick it up again. So
We're the
oh, you
same.
heard me. You heard
I'm
me.
sorry.
That was probably. Achievement hunters don't typically play the newest stuff, as you
Right.
could tell. That's changing a little bit with Game Pass and day and date stuff
Right.
coming there. Like I'll be on Gears 5 for sure, but
Did you see the size of
Spyro,
that?
I think I had the most fun with Spyro last year. That was like
Out of
probably my
any game?
game of the year.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Like it was like, I don't know, 33 hours worth, and I did 100% of everything, and it's probably mostly nostalgia because I grew up on Crash and Spyro, and I was looking forward to it so much.
I'm gonna go back for you, Rawker. I'm gonna go back and give it another good shot.
There you go.
Chasing those egg thieves around in Spyro. That was just as fun as I remember it. Just
Oh, yeah.
possibly hard sometimes. Crash though. Crash is another. That's some good remakes between the three of those: CTR, Crash, and Spyro.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about them, and from what I've played, they're all solid. Awesome.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, hey, good luck getting your just 100%ing that one. That sounds like it's going to be a pain, but you're
Yep, it
well on
will.
your way. All right. And let's end with Moose and some Astral Chain. What's going on with Astral Chain? Tell me about it. I played a little bit of it, but if you start, I will give you whatever input I can.
You getting any Batman feels from this game?
Combat-wise?
Just
Or
just the way it's made. You know, everything. It's either you're fighting or you're a detective. One of the two.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't the first thing that popped into my head, but now that you say that, yeah, it's kind of combat, and then there's the
Right.
detective half of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you use the plus button to put your visor down or whatever, and it shows you everything around, and
And you can scan enemies, that kind of thing.
Exactly, and it gives you all the information, what their weaknesses are, parts of the level as far as, if there's a door that can be opened here or there, it glows a certain color. So it gave me a lot of the Batman detective mode type feels. But I'm enjoying it. It's a weird ass game. It's definitely a Japanese game for sure.
I was going to say it's super Japanese. Even that first, it was weird. So I played a little bit of this on vacation, and the intro song is just like some hardcore K-pop. And it was just like blasting out of my Switch, and that's like three people walked in the room like, what are you
Dude,
doing
what
in
are
here?
you
I was like,
doing?
oh man, I should have headphones in. I swear this isn't as weird as it sounds, but maybe it is.
And it's a classic Japanese RPG too, where you are a silent character, but everybody else has voiceover. So I picked the female because my wife was sitting next to me when I started up the game, and I let her.
Oh, that
pick.
was why, huh?
No, I just asked her boy or girl. She said girl, and then we gave her a buzz cut, pink hair, and she looks pretty badass.
Because
so
you don't have
I
enough
went with
girls
it.
in your life.
I'm thinking about switching over at some point, but
Oh, Jesus.
I might as well, right?
I don't know.
That's a thing now, right? You can do that.
Does your voice change?
No, it's not going to.
Okay, good. Well,
just,
it's gonna be weird.
Just for not for real, just for like looks and stuff.
Yeah, so Astral Chain.
Let's move on. So yeah, basically this game is everybody has these. There's this like elite team of cops, and they have what's called legions.
I think it's called the Neuron Division, maybe.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense. And they control these giant mechs, basically. They're like 2 times the size of a human in the game. And they control them, and it seems like they all have special abilities. Like the one I have unlocked right now is the swordsman. And so he's got 2 giant swords for hands, and he wrecks shop.
It's cool because it kind of gives me like if you played Brothers, it's Tale of Two.
Where you play one on one stick and one on the other.
Yeah, so it's like you guide the actual Legion with one hand, and then you can still be running around with the other joystick with your guy, like shooting your gun or swinging your sword or whatever.
And there's a chain that connects you to, hence the name Astral Chain. And you can wrap it around enemies, and basically it leaves them to where they can't move or do anything, and you can just basically smash on them. And it leaves them inoperable for, I'd say, 5 seconds maybe, but that's plenty of time to do damage because there's just a bunch of flashes and smashes and explosions on the screen as far as combat goes.
Yeah, and I haven't found combat to be too difficult.
Once you get the controls down as far as controlling your person as well as
your Legion and your actual character.
Legion,
right?
Yeah, once you get that down simultaneously and work, in synergy, the synergy between the two of them, then the game just unlocks and becomes so much more fun.
For sure. The story's kind of cool. There's these, I think they're called Chimera. It's like these beasts that are being sent from other dimensions through these portals, and that's I think you harnessed part of them making the legions. Your legion,
they became the legions.
Yeah,
so like you learn how they're basically they explain them kind of like they're like wild stallions, and these certain legions you've been able to harness, and you've got your chains on them, and that's why they are controllable and they help you fight against the Chimera.
And I'm hoping this evolves into like a weird Pokemon kind of thing where I can like
catch them all,
catch different chimeras to turn them into legions.
Well, you've seen those dumpsters, right? That have like the beast chimera, the beast legion, little symbol on it, and you can't open it. So it's got that Metroidvania feel to it. Rawker.
Go back when you have the right legion to open this pathway. Yeah, that's true. I hadn't even thought about that. Definitely fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing it.
This is I think this is a good get for Nintendo as far as like having a AAA game on their console, because I think some people after seeing trailers and gameplay of this game will definitely be sold. I don't want to say it's a system seller by any means
too, right? As far as reviews go, 8.5, 9, something like that.
I hadn't even seen reviews, so
it's been talked about quite a lot, saying this game's come out of nowhere.
Awesome.
Air quotes.
Yeah, that's good. And I think that's having positive press and publicity on a Switch exclusive game. I mean,
I think there's a couch co-op feature too, where you can pop the Joy-Cons off and one person runs as a Legion and one person runs as the actual character.
Oh man.
So if you go into your pause menu and it'll show you as far as when you go into the buttons and stuff, how you can play it docked and then have both persons using one controller as far as controlling.
That kind of sucks for the person that's playing as the Legion, because they're on like they can overheat if you use them too long. So it's like once that's over, you're done.
Yeah, there's plenty of those red shards everywhere. I'd never run out of time.
I haven't yet either.
Because they have all those, whatever they call them, radiation that you've got to go around and clean up. And every time you do that, it adds seconds to your Legion's like cooldown or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So I've never had an issue, but I'm sure it will become an issue later on in the game, because why would they make that a feature if
it's not actually an issue at all?
Right.
Ever.
Yeah, if you don't have to actually maintain and manage it, then why would it be there?
It wouldn't be. Would be my guess.
But it's a full price game, so I used a voucher on it.
Yeah,
so.
and I mean I think I've gotten 2 case files, so like the first 2, and I think there might have been like a prologue section as well. Mm-hmm. So I've gotten through those 3 levels, and so far it's good. I don't know how many actual case files there are.
Through 3, so.
But it seems like it's a decent sized game, and for $60, the story's good, the gameplay's good. Has some cool systems in it, and yeah, probably well worth your $60 if it looks good from trailers and you see people playing it.
Right, or
Check
you
out
can
some
use,
gameplay.
like I did, a voucher that they are good until July of next year. So you
So
got
if
to
you
spend them at some point.
picked up your Nintendo vouchers, there you go. Not a bad idea. All right. Anyone else have anything they wanted to talk about before we get moving? No, and no. All right, cool. Well, this is a Game Pass Roulette episode, so let's get into some Game Pass Roulette. All right, so our Game Pass Roulette game that is wrapping up right now was Doom, and that one was picked by Mr. Moose.
Yeah, and I think you thought I was just trying to get out of playing a game, but I just really wanted you guys to see this game because I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I think that this is a two-way street, and you 100% were trying to get out of this, but also you recommended a very good game that we should have played a long time ago.
I planted that seed in the back of my head when I played it, saying, "Yep, they're gonna play this game on Game Pass." So,
yeah, man, wow, Doom, what a game! Chocolate, how are you enjoying it so far?
So I accidentally loaded this game up after a few beers.
That's probably not great.
so you're saying your aim was off?
Yeah, I've also just realised, obviously, we've talked about Halo and how bad I am at shooting. So, yeah, maybe that it wasn't the beers that were putting me off. Yeah. But, yeah, I felt the aim was a bit wonky. Like I said, a few beers
This is definitely
probably didn't help.
# user error.
I thought possibly. But, yeah, that game is just constant action.
It's intense. If it's one word, it's intense.
It can be. So I was playing it on the easiest mode because I wasn't dealing with.
I think it's called
any type
Daddy
of...
Don't Hurt Me, isn't it?
Maybe.
Oh god.
But yeah, it doesn't even give you a chance to look at. So there was one part of this game where I think you drop into. It felt like a metro station, and all the doors were locked, and these things come out from every part of the map.
They come from hell, Chocolate. They spawn from hell.
They are hell spawn.
They spawn from hell. But you can't. You don't even have time to turn around and get the one that's coming behind you before the one from the side gets you.
So you didn't take my advice. I told you last week.
Don't stop moving.
Don't stop moving. You got to keep running and gunning.
I know, but I thought I could take a leisurely stroll. You can't.
No,
not until you
got to
clear
go
the whole
balls
room.
to the wall, and then clear the room of guys. Then go looking for the keys and secrets.
Yeah, so it was crazy.
And that was the first thing.
Absolutely
So
crazy.
there's a bunch of different upgrades in this game, and you're collecting the currency to upgrade things like your weapon and some other abilities. But the thing that I put all of my what's the suit called, Chocolate or Moose?
wrong
It's
person
basically
to
your
ask.
perks. I don't know what the actual term is.
I can't think of the name of the suit,
But
but
they don't go too in depth with character development because I know the guy's name is Doom Guy. So
no, he gets up and then everything he does is so like aggressive. It's even like your button to interact with things is
smash
right stick, which is also your melee. So it's like anything you want to do, you have to click in the stick that you've been clicking to chop people's heads off for the past 3 hours.
Rip them apart.
It's so
I really
funny.
like that mechanic though, how it gave you that the a bonus or death time where you could grab onto a guy and smash him, and that gives you different loot as far as when they blow up.
Praetor tokens.
Yeah.
That
It just depends on which ones. Like I noticed, like if you shoot the guys and kill them, then they give you certain things. But if you rip them apart, then they'd give you other items.
they'd give you So, and that's what this is such like a good video game, if that makes sense. Like it's so gamey where
exactly.
You can't stop moving, like you said. If you shoot people enough, they kind of glow. It's like blue and then red if they're about to be unstunned. And in that small amount of time, you go up and melee them, and you're going to rip them apart. You're going to rip their heads off, whatever. But if you do that, you're going to get a bunch of health. So if you're low on health, what you need to be doing is maybe put one round with a shotgun into a guy so he's down to that like staggered state. And then melee, like do a finisher on him, and you're going to get a bunch of health. And then they also put in a chainsaw into the game, with the
Yep.
chainsaw. If you kill someone with the chainsaw, they're gonna drop a bunch of
It's like
ammo.
a pinata exploded, right?
Yeah,
It's amazing that
it just
chainsaw.
with all those mechanics layered on top of each other, it's the most fluid like first person shooter I feel like I've ever played. Just like, and it's 60 frames per second. It's fast. There's no sprint, which usually I'm not a huge fan of. Like the original Halo games not having a sprint, I hated it so much. But I feel
But
like
you sprint like you're on meth, right?
yeah, your standard like speed in Doom is pretty fast, and then there's a power up like token that can sometimes randomly spawn on the map. I think it's called haste, I want to say, but that makes you even
Yeah.
faster, and that kind of made me wish there was a sprint button. But you were so fast that it felt like it should be like a special type of perk or power up thing.
Right. So I don't know about you guys, but did you find yourselves like looking in the room and trying to see what the power ups were so that you could be like the most efficient in killing everything? Because they have like 4 times damage done. They have, all these super power ups that if you utilize them correctly, you could clear the room in less than a minute.
Was there a way to tell which one you were about to pick
Well,
up?
no, you just recognize them by the colors and
Oh, geez. Okay, so yeah, I guess
Missed that.
I hadn't retained that information, so I never knew what I was picking up. It was just kind of like a grab bag. Just, okay, we're going to hit this, and we're going to see what happens. And then when I got haste, I was like, oh, my God, I am invincible. Or I got one where I think it was a one-hit melee, so my guy was just running around like
everything explodes.
not having to shoot anything, just straight up ripping people in half. Yeah, man.
Did you guys get to a boss fight at all?
I'm not sure.
I think this
I feel
game
like I would
has
know.
Yeah, you would for sure. I think some of the best boss fights in any shooters that I've played.
But I feel like I've done so much, so I don't know how I'm not.
There's only a handful
there.
of them. I want to say there's like less than 5.
Okay, I'm on my way to find Pierce, the scientist lady.
Okay,
and I'm
I
supposed
think that's your first boss fight.
Okay, so my objective currently is to go find her. I just picked up some double jump, like jet booster boots,
Yep.
which are awesome. Just gonna add to the mobility.
And that's that. This game's a little Metroidvania like that too. Those boots will let you find other places on the map.
Because you can obviously go back to previous chapters, and that's the other cool thing is like when you finish a chapter, it's like, all right, you finished a chapter. Here are the unlocks you picked up, the secrets you may have missed.
Right.
There, eventually, you unlock a thing where, depending on how many people you kill, you get little tokens for your weapon upgrades. So if you didn't get enough of those, you can go back and work on that. And yeah, having the double jump will definitely unlock maybe more of those secret areas. So yeah, it does kind of have a weird Metroidvania thing going on. But this game's just all about running around,
Right.
shooting nonstop, using finishers. My favorite weapon by far so far, is the shotgun. I have the shotgun fully kitted out, so it can, if you hold down left trigger, it'll do like a grenade launcher like shot, and if you hit somebody directly, it makes a bunch of other little mines come off of that,
Right.
just wrecking people with it. It's so fun. And then it's like a plasma gun or something. I think that's the other one I'm using a bunch. The rocket launcher doesn't have enough ammo for me, but that's also fun when I get to use it.
I always save the BFG for hard targets. Have you gotten that one yet?
Is it actually? It's not called rocket launcher. It's actually the BFG.
No,
Okay,
yeah, it's
so
called.
no.
I believe it's called the BFG, and it basically you shoot it in a direction, and everything turns to jello and pudding in that direction.
It's just a personal nuke.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and
So-
this, like you said, character development and there
There's
being
none.
an actual story.
Right.
I don't think that's what you're here for. You
No.
wake up as Doom Guy, and there's scientists doing weird stuff with
Yeah.
demon DNA. Or they found like a power source that only comes from hell, but Doom Guy's like, nah, I'm gonna break all this stuff.
Exactly. Kind of like Wolfenstein. It's just kind of their MO is,
Wake up and just
Bethesda.
smash
Yeah, it's
everything.
you versus the world, and it's up to you and you alone, and let's go do this.
So yeah, there's a bunch of audio logs, or not even audio logs. They're actually like diary things that you have to actually read.
Nope. I have them
So-
all, but they're just sitting in a library.
Yeah, this seems like I need to collect everything, like an OCD kind of
Right.
game where it's like, oh, how did I miss that one thing? Now I need to go back and just find that. Rawker, have you messed with this game at all for any achievement hunting purposes?
I messed with this game for fun.
Ooh, and for fun.
Actually.
All right.
I didn't get very far, but you guys are kind of inspiring me to go back. So it's on the short list to go back to now.
It's a short game too. It's only like 12 hours long to finish it.
Yeah. I don't even think I made it to the first boss either when I first played, which is probably like a year ago. But I do remember this game had awesome music.
I was about to say.
It paired so well with the action.
Can't go without mentioning the music because, like, as the action builds up, the music builds up, and it's just like, what is it, like, almost like house metal?
I would say, yeah, it's metal with some like deep bass when it gets intense.
Yeah. The music is, if you play with a good set of headphones on, you can almost feel it in your chest, like if you were sitting at the club or something. It's weird.
Definitely get you in the mood.
Right, yeah.
In the mood to just murder hundreds and thousands of demons. It's good stuff, though.
Anybody in the community play it? They got any feedback?
Oh, absolutely. Hold on one second. Yeah. So this bit of feedback is from Ledonian. He said, it's a fun game. Definitely will complete it at some point. The lack of a real story is kind of disappointing. This would be a great couch co-op game where you just shoot and loot with a friend without having to read stuff, which agreed.
Who does that?
Gunplay felt great. Enemy explosions looked amazing. Melee finishes were really cool. Definitely a hit for Ledonian. And then Sweeney just had a little bit to add. He started with what he said, and then said, me and my little brother-in-law played it on the PC this week. They each just...
Played One Life.
Yeah, like maybe they were switching on and off with lives,
yeah.
or they literally just each played a life.
Right, but you could really get through this whole game with one life.
And that's one thing about difficulty, which obviously I could have boosted it up, but I'm on default, whatever. I didn't touch it.
I think it's called Don't Hurt Me.
And I may have died once from enemy. Like the other times, I just stupidly fell off the map somehow.
Right.
And
yeah.
So I'm not finding it super difficult. I just started running into the flying demons that have like rocket launchers mounted on their backs. I feel like it's the cover of the game, maybe, or like that's the demon I kept seeing in like promotional material. Like that's the guy I'm running into now. But like I've got stun guns. Like I have a stun on my pulse rifle, so I'll stun someone, then fire some rockets at them, and just I don't know. Maybe I should kick it up a notch.
No, the boss fights kick it up a notch for you.
Okay, so yeah, I just need to actually run into that.
Right. They get a lot more difficult. I remember, I think we were talking about it when I was finishing the game, that I was looking up how to beat the last boss or if there was a secret or something, and I found out it was the last boss, so I just put the nose to the grindstone and kept doing it until I beat him.
Plowed through it. And I do like that, like you said, it's a short single-player experience, and like that's A-okay with me.
Yeah, it's not 80 hours, so. Chocolate, you can finish this game. I believe in you, buddy.
I need to. I'm stuck on the level where you've got lava and you have to destroy, I think there's 3 or 4 of those. I'm going to call them blood hearts, but they're not. Yeah. They're those strange...
Gore or something?
Yeah. Blood heart sounds familiar, but yeah.
Yeah, and you put your fist through it and pull out.
And then
so that...
every time you do it, like 1,000 hell demons come out of it.
You're like, joy, not again.
Just keep moving. Just like...
Yeah, I need to... That's my downfall. I do like to have a good scope of where I'm going, and because I stand there and wait and have a look around, I just get annihilated.
That's how I play Destiny too, is I just run all the time. So run in circles and kite guys behind me, and then
that's what it kind of felt like that sometimes. Like if you played COD Zombies before and you're familiar with training zombies, you just kind of like do a figure 8 and then turn around eventually, and there's just a line of them,
and they will all run right to your reticle.
Yes.
Did you notice you were talking about the shotgun, how your reticle changed on the shotgun when you pulled?
Types. One's an explosive shot and one's a regular shot.
Yeah, but I love the way that it just changes, so it gives you a load.
Kind of lets you know what's going on.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, you know what you're doing because obviously you're holding down that left trigger, but just the way it changes ever so slightly, you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be a massacre.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So, big question I have is this make Doom Eternal a purchase for you guys?
Well, I mean, honestly, it just makes me feel like it's going to end up in Game Pass in a few months.
That's true too. And if not, it'll be on sale for 60% off.
If the game share partner's into it, I mean, yeah, like you just said, this is also a game a month from now that will be $30 because
Right.
single
That's what
player
they do.
game.
Right.
So,
Until after Christmas, it'll be half off.
dude, just wait for Black Friday, and I
That's
guarantee
true.
you this game will be at least half off, if not $19.99.
Well, if you're looking to pick physical, but gross.
Well, yeah, that is true.
Except for I did a bad thing getting fast internet. We have a data cap now, so.
Oh no.
But I'm gonna just go over it a bunch of times and then
Deal with
we're
it?
Then we're just gonna pay because you can pay an extra $50 to unlock your data cap.
Oh well.
So
eh.
I'm probably gonna end up getting rid of my cable because it's junk anyways.
And who has cable? Well, I mean,
Right.
I do, but
Well, no, my parents do, so I'll just use their
Use
subscription
their
to
credentials.
log in.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
100%.
Let me make this more safe for you. And your password is? Okay.
No,
Nailed
my
it.
parents have no interest in internet TV at all. I'm like, you can use my Netflix account, you can use my Amazon account, whatever you want to watch. All the good TV's there. They're like, nah, I'm good. Family Feud, we're good here.
Family Feud, it runs for 4 hours a night at least.
And that mustache never moves.
Oh god. All right. So let's get into hit or miss time. For me, definitely a hit. How about you, Chocolate?
Yeah, it's a hit. It's a hit.
Moose.
I'm going to say hit because
Yep.
I finished it.
And Rawker, from what you've played,
Oh, it's a hit.
Right.
There's no question. It's quality.
quality, and if you got Game Pass, man, best value in gaming. We'll say it every podcast.
I think a lot of people slept on this game because I've owned it for about 2.5 years and finally
Dude,
popped
I-
the disc in.
Play so many games. Like, I definitely don't complete games. I realize that, but I play so many games every year, and just I can't believe I missed this one or passed up on it. I had looked into it multiple times. I know Waterloo beat this game, may have 100%ed it.
Yeah, I remember him talking to me on Discord about it.
Yeah, and
he
he had
agrees with the boss fights. Might be the best boss
super,
fights.
yeah, he had super glowing things to say about it, and it's just kind of always like, I don't know, but it's worth it, guys, especially since it's on Game Pass. Definitely check this one out.
Does that mean you're going to play 9 Parchments now?
No, 100% not. What this does mean, and what I will do, is pass the mic over to Chocolate because he's going to be choosing our new Game Pass Roulette game.
You
Chocolate-
pick Football Manager and you're off the show.
Well, yeah, that's just kind of a standard rule at this point. So just don't do that and you're good.
Oh, I can't do Football Manager. Right, so I am going to pick a game that has just landed in Game Pass. Moose, get ready to change your pants because it's Blair Witch
I
time.
don't know why you just ate your microphone, but Blair Witch it is. I think Moose might have left. He's crying, sobbing in
Or he's
a
Yeah,
corner.
I was definitely cussing with the mute button on there. Thanks, Bear. Appreciate you.
Love you, man.
No, this is perfect.
Can't wait. Yeah, I've been desperate to play this game, so
Desperate the last 2 days.
it's been hard. It really has been hard.
So yeah,
I'm
hey,
sweating right now, just so you
just
know.
thinking about it.
Are you going to stream it, Moose?
Yeah, I can
Please.
stream it, but I don't have a camera set up, so you won't be able to see my reactions.
You
You'll
can
just be able to hear them.
Hear him squeal still.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'll take whatever I can get at this point.
Oh boy. All right.
Cool. Blair Witch Project, brand new game. Everybody should be excited to hop on this one. Well, unless you're like Moose and you just hate the genre, I guess. Then maybe not.
Ever play Outlast?
I played the first Outlast. That game's
It's spooky.
Yes.
that was nice and scary. Probably should have played Outlast too.
I
at
think
some
that's
point.
the only scary game that I played in.
I actually played all the way through that game too for some reason. I don't remember why.
Do you ever get a weapon? I don't think you do.
No, you don't. You get a camera
A
and your
flashlight and a
legs to
camera.
run away. That is
Yeah.
it.
And
Oh,
batteries that run
Do you ever
out.
play?
Yeah, exactly.
Not a fun game.
Did you guys ever play Condemned on the 360?
No, sir.
Oh, there's a psychological thriller you want.
I'm like Moose, where I usually kind of steer clear of these spooky games. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the last time I
see how this
bought a
goes.
scary movie was like Saw 5. So that shows you how long, I've been out of the game.
Yeah, I haven't seen a scary movie in forever. I'm kind of like you in that. Insidious. I think that was the last movie I saw.
I heard that one was pretty evil.
I think there's like 3 of them or 4 of them now. So, yeah. All right. So, Game Pass Roulette game for the next couple weeks is the Blair Witch Project. If you have feedback for that, join us in Discord. We have a Game Pass Roulette channel where you can drop feedback if you have questions for us, anything like that. Or just reach out on socials, wherever, however you need to do it. Yeah. All right. Blair Witch Project. Good choice. Chocolate. I'm more
Not
excited
so good.
to hear what Moose has to say about it than actually playing the game. So.
Oh, did I tell you guys I have a data cap and I can't afford to download that game?
Oh, darn.
So...
This isn't going to make the cut, huh?
Shoot. I guess I'll just have to watch a YouTube.
You're just the worst. All right. So that's going to do it for this installment of Game Pass Roulette. That means we're moving to the news. So let's get into the news. All right, so I'm slacking on my news.
You have bigger things going on.
I had a lot of stuff going on this week, so I'm leaving this news segment up to Moose. So Moose, what's in the headlines this week?
Well, let's start off with Telltale's back. I figured you'd be happy about that. Well,
Hell yeah,
maybe.
dude. Possibly.
They were acquired by a company called LCG Entertainment, and they say that they are going to use the Telltale Games namesake along with some of its catalog and portions of intellectual property, and try to revive some of those games, as well as use some of the game mechanics and adventure style in new IPs. So, and they're also looking at pursuing relationships with some of their third-party licenses that they used to have. So everything sounds good. Nobody's ever heard of LCG Entertainment, so everybody's a little skeptical at this point. But looks like Telltale's back, and they may be trying to hire some of those people that were displaced. So it looks like it's at a contractual basis at this point. But, they do their job and they show up every day. I'm pretty sure that becomes a full-time gig.
They are literally The Walking Dead now.
Really? Yeah, exactly, right? That's hilarious.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that's awesome news, especially that they're trying to
Revive some of those licenses. And
because you mentioned getting the third-party licenses, having things like Batman, I thought was excellent. I think, honestly, most of stuff that Telltale does, if you're not into that type of gameplay, sure, whatever, that's a completely different matter.
Yeah,
but
that's me.
The actual games and the stories behind them, they've all been at least decent, like at worst, in my opinion. There's some of these are like the best stories in games. Like Tales from the Borderlands, in my opinion, is the best Borderlands game. It has the best story out of any of the Borderlands games from what I've seen. Haven't finished one. Like that game was hilarious. The first Walking Dead game, like I don't.
Oh, that was brilliant.
I don't shed a tear in games ever. Like the ending of that game had me sobbing. Like it's just some of these stories, they're incredible, and this is such good news, dude. Especially if they're hiring people back that haven't been picked up by other studios or whatever, even if it is on a contractual basis. But like,
right,
it's a start. It's a foot in the door. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think there's any negative that we're getting out of the story. It's good. Good.
Yep. All good there. Up next, Rawker actually brought this to my attention earlier last week. They're bringing back a couple of the classic Disney platformers. Lion King and Aladdin are getting an HD remaster, and it's a little strange. So it's going to include versions of both games. It says Sega and Game Boy version of Aladdin, and Sega and SNES versions of Lion King, and then there's a bunch of Game Boy versions, demo versions, complete edition version. There's probably 10 different versions of these games that you could play on the disc or the cartridge, I guess, because it's coming to Switch as well. But I'm stoked. I think I said a while back that some of my favorite Disney platformers were these two games in specific. So
you want to talk about tough as
put
nails
it out in the
platformers.
universe. Oh yeah, Aladdin, the waterfall sand level thing. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, for me, it's the Lion King. What do you call it? The Stampede level.
I feel your pain there, dude.
It's these games, but they were both like, this is another. I think I played both of these on SNES.
Yep.
And like, they were brutally hard back then. I wonder if they're gonna have like a rewind feature or something.
Yes, they will.
They
Actually,
are?
it says
Awesome.
new features are going to include upscaled graphics, visual enhancement filters, customizable button configurations, interactive game viewer like SNK 40th anniversary. If anybody's played that, basically you can watch the game like a movie and then jump in at any point and play at that point.
Oh, that's
Right,
amazing.
and then they have a rewind mode as well. So there's no excuses why you can't beat this.
Rewind. It's awesome.
Right, and it's coming out October 29th, and it's gonna be $30.
So do you think,
$29.99.
like, we went over this a couple weeks ago, how we might be getting SNES games for the Switch, like on their free service, and that already
I hope so.
That already has like rewind implemented into it. So that'd be cool if these popped up there. But then they got to make sure they get this $30 version out first before they start giving away free versions of the same game.
I don't know. I listen to Kind of Funny Games Daily, and one of their regular hosts, Andrew Renee, her husband just got hired over at Disney to become like their games guru. So I have a feeling a lot of this stuff's gonna come out of the vault here in the next few years.
Nice.
So that's about it for Lion King. Anybody make it out to Seattle this weekend for PAX West?
I made it out like a month ago.
Other side, right?
Oh, no, I meant I was actually in Seattle.
Oh yeah, that's right. But then you also went to PAX
East. Yep.
about a month ago too.
What's going on at PAX West?
It's probably the smallest PAX as far as game development and showing people, because everybody's games are coming out right now. So most people are working on it. But there's they released 15 minutes of new gameplay footage of Cyberpunk from CD Projekt Red. They had a hands-on demo that looked much better and felt much better than what they showed at E3 for the Avengers from Square Enix.
Good.
Yeah. The first hands on basically the final product of Monster Hunter World Iceborne. There's some new features that they're showing off. And then they had a bunch of panels. Some of the people included Penny Arcade, Gearbox, Kind of Funny Games had a showcase, which I need to check out because I didn't know that they did that. Giant Bomb had a panel, and then there was tons more I can't mention just because we'd be here for longer than we already are.
Yeah, those. I think PAX is slowly taking over. It just is like the number one.
It seems like it's for gamers, right?
Yeah, it's definitely more geared for actual like consumers than E3. But like you can get into E3 nowadays, but it seems like that's still difficult. Like it's not tough to get into a PAX, and you can still see a decent amount of stuff. And we've been seeing like
reveals,
Borderlands 3, got revealed. Their first reveal trailer was at PAX East, so I think they're becoming a lot more relevant. And eventually, the E3 might kind of be gone. People are doing their own things, and then they also have these conferences where all of their fans are actually there.
Right. Because E3 used to be so that retailers knew what games they wanted to buy for the holiday season. But now all that information is out in February, so there's no reason to have a convention in June other than just because it's E3.
Just hype. That's it.
Exactly. Spend your money here. Right, Chocolate?
Definitely. Well, not my money. I mean, the wife's money. But anyway.
Isn't all money our money? Isn't that how it works?
That's how he phrases it.
You would think somehow it never goes 50-50.
Do you have any idea if this stuff is being posted on YouTube or anything? Like
I know IGN
the Avengers and Cyberpunk stuff?
I don't know if they're streaming it, but I know they're making a bunch of review videos and stuff on YouTube as far as what we missed. And
okay, I guess I was just wondering if we would be able to see actual gameplay.
Coverage.
Right.
Yeah, the Cyberpunk stuff was on.
Yeah, you can check that out on IGN.
The IGN.
That whole
looked so
15-minute
good.
Trailer was on IGN.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was
most things
asking.
I've just had that. One of your major IGN, Kotaku, GameSpot. It should all be there.
I'll search it out.
Yes, sir. So, had you guys seen that Overwatch might be coming to the Switch?
Yay. I guess.
It's just rumors at this point. I know Cabo and Ladonian are both doing backflips in their living rooms right now. But there was a officially Blizzard licensed Overwatch Switch case that was listed, then quickly delisted on the Amazon Marketplace last week. I think this happened to be the second time that they did this. It happened a few months ago as well. And Blizzard has publicly talked about interest in porting to the Switch, and they obviously have experience doing so with Diablo 3, but they also have their hands full right now. So we can talk about that on the next subject. But what do you guys think about Overwatch coming out to the Switch? Why didn't they come when Paladins did? You know, what's the holdup?
Yeah, there's not much. I think why is a question. Why bring?
Why not?
Because you could
have you
sell
played
it.
Paladins on your Switch? It's pretty fun.
I enjoy Paladins on my Switch. I think for Overwatch, I'm a little bit too late unless it has all the cross save, cross play, cross functionalities that you want from that type of
I'm
game.
going to go ahead and alienate all of our listeners now and tell you that both those games are pretty much the same thing with different characters. So, you know, if it's good for one, why not the other? That's what I say.
Developed at the same time, have some identical characters. You're not far off. One of them just picked up a lot more.
Paladins was the first game. It just didn't come out first.
Here we go. Exactly. I mean, if the port goes smoothly, why not? Paladins is just fine on the Switch, so
Right.
I don't know if. I guess I always think of Overwatch as being more competitive because there's like the whole
league.
Overwatch League, which just kind of puts it up a step above. But when
That's
I'm
just
playing them
marketing
both,
dollars,
it's got to the same
Don't
thing.
they have a Paladins League as well? It's just not so highly marketed and advertised.
Yeah, and it came out first as well.
Well,
Of course
I
it
don't
did.
know. I'm not going to start that debate, but
What they say.
so I don't know. It's a slow week, guys. Sorry, there's not a whole lot going on in gaming.
Nah, dude. I mean, for all we know, half of our listeners could be avid Overwatch fans, and this is going to be awesome news.
But that Switch case looks pretty sick. So if it does get relisted, I may pick it up on a daily deal or something like that because it's all gray with yellow trim, and it's pretty sweet.
Or just go pick yourself up a nice Satisfy case.
Are you sponsored by them?
Dude, I might as well be. Best case I've ever had.
So, as I mentioned earlier, Blizzard has their hands full with something else right now. They're not worried about Switch releases or Switch cases because World of Warcraft Classic dropped last Monday or Tuesday. So, have you guys been waiting in lines to kill wolves and spiders and stuff?
Nope.
No.
No.
Not.
I think we covered this in what we've been playing as far as everyone's lack of excitement for this.
So, but, you know, I guess we are not the majority here because they have had hours-long queues, if not, you know, up to days-long queues just to get into the game. So, on certain servers, I don't know why you wouldn't just pick another server or all your, you know, what's so hard about 30 friends just picking a different server? No, it's got to be this one.
Because you want to be with the majority, man.
Right.
Be a sheep.
So, yeah, WoW's out, and you know there have been some streamers and some diehards living in their mom's basements that have already reached max
Shots
level
fired.
and looking for end game. So, I'm like I said, I'm still trying this game out. I don't quite understand what the hype is about, but hopefully they give me some of that sweet crack here real soon. Because I don't get it.
Inject it straight into
Just
the
sound bites I need to just clip and have forever.
You should.
These need to be taken out of context and just sent out to the masses. That's all I want.
That's, you know, just following in my idol's footsteps, Bert Kreischer.
God.
So yeah, WoW's out, and that's about it for the news.
All right. I didn't see anything that happened in the news last week, so
Nothing happened.
If
so
we missed something,
you're
I
good.
wasn't aware. Well, I bet you there's some new games coming out.
There are. There's a few. It's starting to be, you know, fall release season. So Final Fantasy VIII Remaster is coming out September 3rd. It's coming out for PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch.
That's today.
And both you and Rawker could be happy to know that Spyro comes out today as well for the Switch.
He's already played
Big
through
tip.
it.
Yeah, but now he can play it on the
and
Switch
no more achievements.
for no achievements.
Well, I mean, if the Xbox Live integration comes through, you got my 30
You know
bucks.
Game Pass will be there soon enough.
I don't know.
God, I hope so.
So for all you Game Pass Ultimate subscribers, as well as Gears 5 Ultimate Edition purchasers, you can play Gears 5 on the 6th.
Sweet. That's just probably.
It's like 110 gigabyte download.
Oh my
So,
God.
Yeah, I look at data now, so I may not be playing that game.
That's humongous.
Right? For the initial download?
Well, right. Think about what that's going to look
all
like.
the
a year
updates and
from now.
patches. It's going to be a 200 gig game. And I guess,
Ugh.
is that the future we're looking at as far as next gen is,
Yeah,
until they
it's-
find out the next Blu-ray, how they can compress all this, data onto something smaller.
Well, that's like one thing, and there could be multiple companies and developers doing this right now, but I know that Rare, at one point, they started getting rid of like older updates or like older data in
Just
the
scrubbing it.
yeah, like scrubbing it to just make so the download size of Sea of Thieves hasn't really been
Still,
changing
like
like the
40
last
gigs or
year,
something, right?
Like it's
Yeah.
just because they get rid of stuff, they scrub it like you said, and then when they have new updates, it adds a little bit, but then they still take a little bit out. So I would assume everybody will be doing that if they're not already doing it, and we're just not noticing. I don't look at my memory on my Xbox that often with the 8 terabyte.
Yeah, Ladonian and I started playing through Gears 4 last week, so we got some work to do before, what is it, Friday? So
Yep.
abandon your family and priorities and responsibilities, Ladonian. We got games to play.
Woohoo!
So what else is coming out? NBA 2K20 coming out. I guess they did some real dirty slot machine stuff again. That's new.
Does this surprise you in the least?
Not at all. Like they legitimately just like turned it into a slot machine at this point.
Oh, God.
They're just calling it, for what it is. So, and then just one more I wanted to mention, Creature in the Well, just because I saw Ronan was streaming it. He got a advanced copy of it to stream last week, and it looks pretty cool. It's a top-down cave crawler monster battle type deal. So, it looks pretty cool. That comes out on the 6th as well for Xbox and Switch.
Sweet.
You got new games with gold coming up this month. Hitman is going to be from September 1st to the 30th.
That's the complete first season, right? Like
Yeah.
all the
Yep.
DLC and all the
The
missions
one
and
that
stuff.
was previously in Game Pass. So if there's quite
Okay.
a bit of content there as far as all of the first season. So and I know a lot of you have played it. There's a lot of replayability in each level. So that's a good get. That's probably the best get this month with Games of Gold. And then We Were Here comes out. You can get it on the 16th of September all the way till the 15th of October. And then we got a couple 360 games. Earth Defense Force is available till the 15th. And then Tekken Tag Tournament 2, you can pick that up from the 16th to the 30th. So I thought that was kind of a down month as far as Games with Gold goes. But I think they're pushing more Game Pass at this point,
It seems the last couple of months have been not so hot.
Right. And they just say, well, pay another $5 a month and get Game Pass Ultimate, and there you go. There's all your free games. So we do have a few titles leaving this month. We've got Hue, which was one of our roulette games a few months back.
That's a good one. Worth checking out for sure.
It is, and any of these games, if you want to buy them before they leave the Game Pass, because I believe you get like 20% off or something like that, as while they're in Game Pass to buy the titles. So Hugh's leaving, Inner Space is leaving, Manual Samuel, which I may have to check out just because why not? That sounds cool. And Skyforce Reloaded are your Xbox One games leaving. And then Garo Mao, A World of Keflings, A Kingdom of Keflings, Alien Hominid HD, and Battle Block Theater are all leaving from the 360 list.
I better go check out Garo Mao.
Yeah, can't even say it. Sounds like you got marbles in your mouth.
Yep.
And then for all you PlayStation subbers, you get Batman Arkham Knight, which is a pretty awesome game, as well as Darksiders 3. So go get those if you have those subs, because they're no longer available
That's so
after this
good.
month is over. Yeah.
PlayStation
Darksiders
Plus.
3 just came out, right?
Yeah, and Batman Arkham Knight is probably my
If that might
favorite
be the best
superhero
one,
game
right?
besides Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Watch yourself.
I'm no idiot.
So I think that's about it for, the list is getting longer. Games are coming. Be excited.
Yeah, buddy. All right, hey.
And Happy Gears Week.
Happy Gears Week, everybody. Best game that's coming out in September.
Cannot wait. Ooh.
Yeah, I said it.
There's Greedfall. There's Zelda.
That's true. There's so many better games than Borderlands 3 coming out.
I forgot that was a game.
So we're going straight back to bashing our Patreons, are we?
Love you,
of
Chaotic.
shade.
Just our favorite patron.
Yep, that's what we do here. All right, cool. Let's plug this thing up then.
Let's do it.
Head on over to crossatlanticgaming.com for a little bit longer. We're not sure if we're gonna have a website too much longer, but if that changes, we'll definitely have more info.
That was awkward.
For that, it was super awkward, but I don't want to be directing people to the wrong place because why not? Yeah. So for now, head on over to crossatlanticgaming.com. Find links for Discord, social media, all that stuff. And then obviously in the show notes, we have links for all of that as well. Join us on Discord. That's where you should be. That's where we all are. That's where all these things that you hear us talking about are all happening there. Game Pass Roulette, we have channels for that. Sports, football season's about to start. We have a Cross Atlantic Gaming fantasy football league that hopefully is happening.
Maybe?
We do need.
We got till Thursday.
We need a few more people.
I did want to say, Risky, the best way to find our Discord link is to go into the show notes from whatever your favorite podcast app. Because I know when I first started trying to figure out what this Discord thing was, I could never figure out how to get into the actual servers because it's not just a type in the search bar and find them type deal. So
yeah, and if you don't know what Discord is, it's just a big old,
it's a social media platform,
big old chat thing with lots of different channels to talk about different gaming things, non-gaming related things, that kind of fun stuff. If you game, you probably know what Discord is. But either way, so come join us in Discord. If you'd like to support us with your hard-earned money, get in on some of these contests or our weekly or our monthly drawing, you can head on over to patreon.com/CAG podcast. We also throw free content up there. Patrons get it a week early. But everybody else, if you check there, you're going to get a constant stream of content that me, Chocolate, Moose, and even I think Ronan just did something for us, right?
He did a great basically
roundup of Inside Xbox.
Gamescom. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, lots of content going on over there, and I think links to a lot of our stuff are also there. So head on over to Patreon if you'd like to support the show. Shout out to our top tier contributor, that is Chaotic. As usual, we love all you guys. Rawker, you're one of them too. We love you. Thanks for supporting the show. If you'd like to reach out to us via email for anything, cagpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to find me, I am at Risky the Kid everywhere. Chocolate, how about you?
I'm Chocolate Bear everywhere.
Moose.
Moosenstein, 8314 everywhere.
And Rawker, I mentioned it at the top of the show, but you are a co-host on Achievement Hunter 101. If you want to plug that or talk about it for a minute or whatever, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So just like these fine gentlemen, we run a podcast. We focus on achievements specifically. We touch on some news, if it's achievement related, but we leave it up to these professionals if you want to get your overall gaming news. But if you ever have that achievement itch, we have a Discord, just like these guys, of super helpful people that will help you with anything. We have community boosts going on. We do lots of contests with prizes and just bragging rights, and it's a good time. And if any of that interests you, like I said, we're on Discord, discord.io/AH101, and then you'll get links to everything else from there. But if you're interested, come join us.
Yeah, and we'll definitely put a link to the podcast in our show notes. So check that out. It will probably take you to iTunes. I'm assuming that's what link we'll use. We'll use some link, and you'll be able to find it. But yeah, Rawker, thanks for being on the show, man. It was fun. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
And thank you, dear listener, for tuning into this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
See ya.
Later.
All right. Who brought the dad jokes, Chocolate?
I've come super prepared this week.
Oh, boy.
You said that before.
Yeah, I've heard this one.
Okay. I went to the doctor's with hearing problems. He said, "Can you describe the symptoms?" I said, "Homer's fat is a fat dude, and Marge has blue hair." Oh, God, I balls that up.
Yeah, you weren't joking about
I
having
thought you were
bad jokes, huh?
prepared. So, in spirit of it being back to school, I got a couple science jokes for you.
All right.
So, what's an astronaut's favorite part of a computer?
I don't know.
The space bar.
Oh,
Here's another science one. It has to do a little bit with, what is this? Biology. So, I can't trust atoms. They make up everything.
All right, yeah.
You know, because atoms, everything's
yep.
made. I was just trying to explain it to Chocolate so he'd understand.
Oh, my bad.
What does Pac-Man eat with his chips?
What?
oh,
Guacamole.
Oh, all right.
That's the winner.
All right. Where did the one-legged waitress work? IHOP.
IHOP.
Oh,
Oh.
you got it. You knew it.
Yes, somebody ruined the ruiner's joke.
I've got one more.
All right, redeem
Is it
yourself.
the dog one that we didn't get the punchline to
Oh.
last week?
Nope.
Nope,
Sure
definitely not. I asked my wife how to turn off Alexa. She said, "How about walking through the room naked?"
Booyah! Wow. That's coming from your wife, bro. That's mean. That's abuse.
That's so good. I
Here
like
you
it.
go. Here you go. Here's a plug for you as well. If you give EV money, what does it evolve into?
What?
Patreon. Patreon.com/CAG podcast.